Hey guys, J-Games here again. This is going to be what if Naruto was born with all 8 gates opened. Now, by that, I mean like Naruto would be born with the gates, open. That includes 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. But Naruto was really kind of he'll be in learning how to use their power, but one thing is, he will not die from using the 8th gate. Now, I'll explain how he has this. So, we'll put this jutsu as something that Ashura basically developed. Then eventually the only person to do it was someone in So Ashura was one of the only people to do it. Then it moved on to be in the Hashirama and Madara era. But Hashirama wasn't really an exact clone, or not that clone, but more of his own person than being a reincarnation of Ashura. Yes, he had the spirit, but that's about it. So he didn't get the body to use the 8 gates. But still, he was really powerful. We go to Naruto. He's a lot more like Ashura, and, personality-like, physically. So with this, Naruto's body will be given the blessing of Ashura, which would, so to say, being the gates are opened all at once, as Ashura could not die from the 8 gates. It just caused extreme pain in his body and made him pass out for days at a time. That's about it. We have Naruto, who would be given the blessing of Ashura, plus the 9 tails, which actually would take away the fact that he can be knocked out for days on end. But more or less would put him out for a few hours, if he would go all out. But mainly what is the biggest thing that can do mentally is more or less just remove your mental inhibitions, like stuff that would make you insecure, nervous, anxious. All makes you a very brave and confident person. I need that. But then it can kind of amp your speed, your strength. My guy is fast enough to bend space and time. Then Sakura can match that speed as well. I don't think she even has a gate. So I'd put my guy able to bend space and time, which Naruto will go into later, without using a single gate, because they're always he would use gates constantly, but yeah, strength and speed are also amped up by like 10 times, so he's a lot more powerful off the jump. So yeah. So pause real quick. So Naruto would, I guess, go throughout life being a very confident and strong person individually. But Naruto, when it comes to taijutsu tests, like in Sasuke, when they would clash or something, Sasuke's always on the edge. Because Naruto physically is a beast, dominating Sasuke easily. And so whenever Naruto's fist would touch the ground, the ground shatters. Whenever he dashes at Sasuke can't even comprehend the speed that Naruto would move at. Not even Iruka can, he's a Chunin. With this, Sasuke proceeds to get, demolished every single fight. Yes, technique-wise, he overwhelms Naruto, but still, Naruto's faster and stronger by, he can already move at the speed of sound, and at this point, I'd put Naruto around 7 years old. He can already move faster than sound. Though Sasuke isn't keeping up with this, Naruto's punches, they're like bullets. So by the time Sasuke's trying to basically block, it's basically at the point where you're just being shot. That's about it. It's like holding up your arms and hoping that that bullet can be blocked by your bones. And Sasuke has the unfortunate demise of meeting someone whose arms barely get tired. So, yeah. Kind of like a machine. Well, they don't ever get tired, but it was like forever. Imagine having a minigun, but you have millions of bullets that can go in forever. Not millions, like tens of millions. But yeah, so Sasuke basically just has that unfortunate demise of meeting that supposed minigun being Naruto's arms. By the time Sasuke had more or less just says he submit, both his arms were broken pretty badly. And Naruto's fists weren't even bruised or anything. They're covered in Sasuke's blood. And Naruto never really lost because his stamina, durability, I guess endurance counts as both, but let's say endurance, durability, strength, speed, and I guess his confidence to just go rush into anything without taking a second thought is unrivaled. So it doesn't really matter. So now Naruto more or less would be, in terms of skill, he seems like kind of average, maybe a tad bit below, but still his endurance and power. Well, you can't take that out of commission, because he can keep up with Chunins in terms of speed, strength, and not like technique, but still. Well, if you can get the hit off on Naruto, then that's already impressive enough. But it takes at least a somewhat powerful Jonin to even land a graze on Naruto. Not even Iruka or Mizuki could do that. So yeah. So Naruto more or less just goes out life as taijutsu seems to be more or less his, I guess his forte, or hand-to-hand combat. Technique for taijutsu isn't his thing, but everything else is. But for chakra, so I'd put I guess I forgot the circumstance of the limiter, but basically it puts everything at a 20% not decrease. Put everything at a limit of 20% at the most. That's the limit of power you're allowed to use. But then the 8 gates, as you saw with my guy, who's still not more powerful than Naruto. Someone Rock Lee, who's also probably more powerful than my guy by now. He gave Madara the hands with disrespect. Disrespect, no regard for his life, no regard for his safety, no regard for his generation, no regard for his clan. We have him who cannot beat Naruto. Then we have this. Can you imagine what Naruto will do with this chakra pool that he has, being fully exposed to the point where he's probably on the level of an Otsutsuki? Naruto can be sent from a damn country away. That's how much chakra he's exuding. Pause real quick. So, Naruto more or less is capable of bending space and time if he would use any version of the Nine Ninjas' power below 4 cloaks. Going beyond that, he may tear apart time and space as we know it. That is just it. He may, not he will. We don't know yet. I have not gotten there. I have not done the math or science to explain it yet. But that most likely will tear his body apart. Is to tear his body apart? Yes. He'd heal? Sure. But it'll take forever. His body will be torn apart. Like, you know how Boruto, my guy, is kind of missing half of his foot? Yeah, Naruto's going to end up like that for 2 weeks, and then he won't be unconscious. He'll just be missing certain parts of his body for a while, and then they just regenerate. They magic, or they can just call on Tsunade and she can save a kid's life. But yeah. But we have Naruto more or less who just works on physical strength constantly, and his chakra levels that are being sent from countries away, and now no one wants to fuck with the hidden leaf. Even Orochimaru's kind of nervous about what this is, and Danzo doesn't even want to mention to Orochimaru that it's just a 9-year-old kid. Well, no, at this point I'm pretty sure I said he's 7 or 6. So he doesn't want to mention to Orochimaru that's a little kid who's not even 10 yet. And Itachi and the Uchiha clan feared this power because they wanted to use him for the coup, and then he can kick Sasuke's ass 8 ways to Tuesday, so... Yeah, Sasuke's a kid, sure, but Sasuke came back with broken bones every time he tried to fight Naruto. Every single time, and Naruto wasn't even grazed. And Sasuke is one of the most powerful kids in the academy with taijutsu. Naruto is exceeding Chunin in power and speed. Not on technique, of course, but still, you can't even land a hit on Naruto if you're not at least, somewhat high Jonin. And here's just aware of the power that Naruto has, so this is already credible. And my guy, who's an experienced fighter, plus Kakashi, who's experienced the 8 gates, pretty sure Kakashi can use 2 of the gates. Well, they know this is the 8 gates power, but they don't know how Naruto has it. Kakashi assumes that it might have something to do with the Nine Tails, and Naruto's body may have a better bond with it, so his power is more unlocked. But there's no this, so Kakashi and my guy have to start working together to figure out all the abilities of the gates. At least my guy going up to gate 7, which does end up hurting his body a lot. Still, it was an experiment. With this, Kakashi could presume that his chakra, his speed, his strength, his mental ability, they're all pushed to their max. And if Naruto happened to be born or learn how to use up that much power, plus not even using Naruto's power one bit, he already may be one of the most powerful shinobi alive, walking the earth, and he's not even a genin. He's not even 10 years old yet. But yeah. Now, Kurama can even block out most of Naruto's chakra, so that actually allows him to overflow his chakra levels, or jutsu for chakra, by actually accidentally doing shadow clones, and that's how he learns to do it, is just by accident. He overflowed too much chakra into a clone, and he made hundreds of them that are shadow clones. Then there's the transformations, he went through hundreds of them in a split second, and they were all perfect. Every detail of chakra flow, nothing was wrong with them. So, yeah. He can quite literally just do any jutsu he wants, because he has more chakra than most tailed beasts. No, not most, all tailed beasts. His power was reaching KCM1 Naruto in Shippuden, and he's not even 10. So, yeah. So, Naruto, more or less, is just broken as hell. It's all hell. But now with this, we'd have Naruto, who, well, only he does enter his mindscape and meets the Nine Tails, because the Nine Tails would more or less be curious about Naruto's powers by the point. At this point, I'm making Naruto around 11 years old, and his power just didn't do much but grow. He actually became pretty basic in Taijutsu, pretty average from his age, which made him all more powerful and a dangerous threat. And Sasuke had to put his pride aside and recognize he will never beat Naruto. Never. Sasuke even fought Naruto in ninjutsu, and Naruto blitzed through a fireball, not even grazed, not even singed. And just on Sasuke's head, right in the pavement, give him a concussion. But hell, even they've had a Chunin fight Naruto in the middle of the academy class, and he's almost kicked holes through their bodies. He's sent multiple Chunin to the hospital with critical injuries. And he's not even a shinobi yet. Only reason he's not a shinobi yet, because he's dumb. That is it. So yeah. But Naruto more or less, he was just kind of debating that Naruto should be given the rank of a Chunin the moment he graduates. But Kakashi would want Naruto to more or less experience being a shinobi, from going to D ranks to A ranks gradually, just to get like the pride of a shinobi and what others have to do despite being this powerful. Little does he know how fast Naruto will blitz through these missions once Kakashi is his teacher. But yeah. So Naruto, he's actually able to preform ninjutsu, well, pretty decently actually. There's no reason for him to be bad at it. He can overflow power into his jutsu and everything. But I forgot to go over the Nine Tails encounter, because I realized that's what I was on. I kind of forgot it in a split second, and just went on to something else just so I could fill the time up, but back to what I remembered. So Naruto would more or less use the Nine Tails, and the Nine Tails would question Naruto's power. As the Nine Tails doesn't really realize that Naruto doesn't know what it is, he thinks that Naruto just doesn't know how much power he wields. He thinks that Naruto knows what he's doing, he just doesn't know the extent of it. But no, when Naruto, he truly understands that Naruto is just some brat who doesn't know how much power he holds. But couldn't know until Naruto currently that he's probably one of the most, or probably the most powerful shinobi walking the planet. But Naruto's power can be sent from countries away still. Not countries. So, a certain white-haired man was notified of this power by Hiruzen as dry as like, oh, that's how sensing some random 11-year-old who's not even a shinobi. Cool. This training is gonna be some damn workout for me. And Naruto, well, he's kind of beyond KCM1 Naruto, because, well, you've seen the power he can use. He can learn how to use jutsu by overflowing it, and then it works in his favor, because he has so much chakra to mold and shoot out that it doesn't really matter. I could have made a Claire sperm joke with like the mold and then the shoot, but I'm not going to anymore because they're pretty messed up jokes. But yeah. But Naruto more or less will talk to the Nine Tails, and the Nine Tails will have to acknowledge that Naruto's pretty powerful, as he can acknowledge Naruto is probably, well, more powerful than him. Which isn't wrong. If they were a fight, Naruto can outrun a tailed beast bomb and quite literally kick Kurama in the face as hard as he can, breaking his jaw. And Kurama's made of chakra, so breaking his jaw would be an incredible feat, as he would probably not break it, he'd just make it disappear from existence. So yeah. And Hiruzen's aware about how strong Naruto is. Like, Tsunade and Gakure fears Konoha's power so much because this one shinobi, they don't even know who it is. Like, they're like thinking of shinobi could possibly be like Kakashi of Sharingan. No, the Sharingan would drain too much power. He shouldn't be able to have a Sharingan. Plus, there's rumors that he's not even an Uchiha. So how would he have this much power? And Natsuki clan isn't rumored to be this powerful. Then like, oh, one of the Sannin? No, it's one of the Sannin. All of them are outside the village. We know this. But then Might Guy. Who the fuck's that? We don't know. Hiruzen. No, he's an old man that barely has enough chakra to sustain half the power we use. They don't know who it is. I'm pretty sure Hiruzen doesn't even have a lot of chakra. He's just gifted with just such precise chakra control. He can use every single jutsu with little to no loss. Like he's a living six eye. That like he can reduce the own cost of his ability. So yeah, like you reduce the chakra cost or exhaust of whatever jutsu he uses. It's by simply molding it to perfection. But yeah. Well, we go to when Naruto comes to Shinobi. So, well, for the test, he aces it easily. Everyone knows he will. Like, him and some girls do Naruto hot. This is what Naruto looks like. This is the confident style he goes with, because his brain thinks that he should wear just all orange and black, even though those colors barely go together. But the outfit right here is pretty drippy, so I accept it. But the Mizuki thing, Naruto believes it still. His intelligence didn't change one bit. He's still dumb as fuck. It's just he has more confidence to study. He's like, oh, this is the thing we're doing. Should be easy. Like, he's so dumb. He's barely had an intelligence increase. Barely. I didn't say none, but barely any intelligence was worked on in this instant. So Naruto basically does still the scroll, but then he begins going through it, and immediately with Shadow Clone Jutsu, when he heard about what it was, he's like, oh, I can already do that. The multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, it's a lot harder. No, you can do that with ease. Making 10,000 clones is something he can do on the regular, and barely losing chakra doing so. So he has to go through more jutsu that he deems interesting. The two he finds interesting are going to be Flying Raijin and Rasengan. So with Rasengan, it's a little more complex. He just writes it down because he won't remember it. Flying Raijin will increase his speed, so Naruto's like, oh, I'm fast as fuck already, so this will help. This will help me be faster than 4th Hokage, who's rumored to be incredibly fast. So yeah, Naruto is basically someone with a big ass head that deserves to have that big ass head. But yeah. So when Mizuki arrives, Iruka still has like the whole like he is not Naruto's monkey, the hidden leaf. You'll not disrespect him. But then Mizuki does this with the whole thing that he's Nine Tails in Cherokee, but to his shock, Naruto didn't care. He's like, the Nine Tails, he's a cool guy. Iruka is shocked that Nine Tails is a cool guy. Mizuki says, wait, what? Can't be serious. But Naruto is more or less pissed off that Mizuki wanted to trick him and harm Iruka. Because Iruka is a decent person. Iruka respects Naruto's power. He seems to be in full control, so he may be better than be able to control the Nine Tails. So the possibility he can contain it is just very impressive and respectable. So some people actually do respect Naruto a lot. But yeah, Mizuki is one of those people. So Mizuki got ready to throw another giant shuriken. Naruto appeared right in front of him, and if you guys have read the Dragon Ball manga, Naruto gave him the Goku treatment. And if you saw Moro did to Goku, you know. Naruto basically just murdered Mizuki in cold blood right there, and Iruka thinks that Mizuki deserved it. So yeah. And Naruto isn't really insecure or cautious about anything, so this does not take a toll on his mental state at all. He just thinks that he just saved the village in some respect, which he did. So yeah, some Shinobi arrive, he uses the scroll, and immediately someone wants to arrest Naruto for it, but he punches them into a tree, and they don't even get back up from it. They're just unconscious. It's like, don't blame me, I'm a 12-year-old, I was tricked. So there's no reason they say it's a lie. But yeah. Pause real quick. So now Naruto eventually, this particular night, Kuromaru will bring Naruto to his mindscape and ask Naruto, like, did he feel bad about killing someone this night? Because, Naruto's mind didn't falter one bit. Because, Kuromaru's like, he's like, kid and killed someone with no remorse. Like, Kuromaru's like, just shocked at Naruto. He doesn't even know the power that Naruto was given. It feels familiar, but he doesn't know where from. So, yeah. But with this, I'm going to give Naruto somewhat of a power-up, just for the hell of it later, but it's going to be kind of cool. But Naruto more or less would talk to the Nine Tails that night, then the Nine Tails would question Naruto, like, you killed someone with no remorse, why was it? Give me your whole thought process of this. Naruto begins going over his whole thought process, and the Nine Tails would basically deem Naruto some form of badass. Nine Tails respects Naruto. And he does admit that Naruto has a pretty big head for being 12 years old, but still, he's earned the right to have this. Kurama and Naruto mainly talk the whole night, because Naruto has nothing better to do than annoy a 2,000-year-old fox. So he does just that. And Kurama doesn't want to admit it, but Naruto seems like a cool kid. So he does actually bestow some of his power upon Naruto, bringing the ability to use the Zero Tails all the way to the Two Tails form. The Zero Tails being like a Nine Tails in like a Nine Tails influence form, but then like he has the sharp nails, red eyes, and everything. But then one tail, two tails. You know, it can go from Zero Tails to Two Tails pretty easily and in control. But, well, if Naruto devices basically just want to enhance his body, we can actually use the gates individually without realizing it. First gate will enhance his mind, second gate, it'll basically enhance his mental state. That's really it. But it will be very rare that Naruto needs to enhance his mental state. Like, it is fucking unlocked at all times. All it really do will give him an ego boost. And to make sure that there's nothing for him to be insecure about, even if he starts second guessing something. Yeah, so his team, Naruto instead he's not on the bottom of the class. He's more or less like taking like fifth dumbest in the class. So, but still, Kiba's at the bottom. Not still, but now Kiba takes place at the bottom. Naruto's somewhat more intelligent, so he's doing better. But with this, well, he needs a team swap. That team swap will be with Kiba. I'm going to keep doing this because each what if I've been giving Naruto, he's been somewhat intelligent, so, yeah. Well, not that I've done each what if I've recorded but didn't upload. Just so you guys know, a lot of what if I'll be doing from now on that involve Naruto, he will probably be put on Team Kurenai because he's smart. So yeah, but Naruto on Team Kurenai, well, now he more or less would just go, first off, he leaves. He leaves with Hinata and Shino. Hinata mainly thinks that Naruto, well, she loves Naruto due to the fact that she thinks he's really impressive. She loves him due to the fact that he doesn't let anyone get in his way no matter how much hate he gets. He doesn't seem sad, upset, or anything. Even when he saved Hinata when they were kids, he won by a landslide. Like when those kids were bullying him because she had quote-unquote scary eyes, they got the hell kicked out of them individually. And he couldn't do anything about it, neither could the parents. Then when Hinata was being jumped in the woods, boom, obliteration. When her retainer tried to shoot Naruto away and tried to push him away, boom, kick in the face. Done. No one is allowed to push Naruto around without getting hurt first. Not first, but without getting hurt. So, either mentally or physically, one of the two. Naruto is like a stereotypical 2020, or one of the stereotypical year of the 2020s 12-year-old. You got roasts, and he's a jackass for no reason. Plus, he's kind of dumb. So yeah, he's very dumb. But yeah. But now Naruto more or less would get introduced to Kurenai. He talk to Shino and Hinata, and well, Shino and Kurenai do deem Naruto annoying, but then again, his random jokes, his very, very big confidence, has somewhat of an influence on them. And Shino cannot help but laugh at Naruto sometimes. Shino laughs. So that brings up Naruto, and well, with Hinata, he flat out says that she sucks. Well, not she sucks, but she sucks compared to other Hyuga he's fought with. He's fought with a few. Like, this man picks fights as a hobby with adult Hyuga and wins half the time. Yeah, occasionally gets beat up, sure, but you cannot shut down this man's chakra points. It will be impossible to do so. He's 8 gates that boost him right back open. Like, his chakra points are basically unlimited. His chakra pool currently is surpassing Hashirama, and he's 12. No, it's surpassing KCM2 Naruto, which is already surpassing Hashirama, I'm pretty sure, so still, he's surpassing Hashirama. But for the test, it's more or less like just to estimate where their skills are. Genjutsu, Kurenai will put them in Genjutsu, in Naruto's best chakra. Well, the Genjutsu wears off in seconds. There's no reason it'd work. She knows able to break out of it, so Hinata, Naruto's in it for a second longer. By the time I look at him, he's like, oh, it's still in it? Until he breaks out of it, it's like, oh, what was that? Some big tree appeared, then it went away suddenly. And I'm shocked. Naruto ranked pretty low in Genjutsu. Like, intelligence in Genjutsu is where he's lowest at. So she tried to just get him there, and he just broke out of it like it's nothing. She chalked it up to the Nine Tails. In reality, it was, but then again, these fast chakra pools are basically impossible to disrupt. It'll go back to normal in seconds, because of how much chakra can be exuded because of the 8 gates and himself. So, it'll take like a minute or two longer, but still a minute or two longer. Depending on how strong he can get later on and controls chakra even more. But he doesn't know how to control it, he just uses it however he pleases. This man may make a giant Rasengan by accident, just because it's the only Rasengan he thinks he should do. Like, this man will make a Rasengan the size of the Hidden Leaf, and call it an average Rasengan. But, yeah. So, when Naruto does learn how to control his chakra, it'll be very impressive. But, Naruto would just proceed to, what was it? He proceeds to, I guess, well, first off, Taijutsu. He ranked pretty average in that. It's like, I'll put him like a B-. Kunai would test out Naruto's taijutsu, and the moment she blocks one hit, she says, "Alright, you win, I'm done." Now, Hinata would question why even Shino does, and Kunai's like, "I'm pretty sure he's broke my arm pretty badly." So she holds up her swollen arm, and that's when she's like, "So the rumors were true, you can beat Chunin and Jonin pretty easily now." Not saying he killed a Chunin last night for betraying the village, which you're not aware of. So when Hinata and Shino hear this, like, "Oh, he's already killed a Chunin, and he comes back in perfect condition today. We don't want to know what happened." Okay. So Kunai would basically get medical attention, saying that her team is already fit for being Shinobi. But then she meets up with Asuma at the end of the day. Asuma questions what happened to her arm. She says, "Oh, she tried to spar with Naruto." Now, Mike and Kakashi are both individually a bit stronger, so they've also spied on Naruto a bit, just to estimate what his power is. And me and Kakashi can't but laugh at this, saying, "You trying to fight with that kid who fights adult Hyuga as a hobby." Yeah, geez, Kunai. Here I would have thought that you would study your own students a bit more. Now everyone in there except my guy is shocked. He fought adult Hyuga as a hobby. Kakashi and my guy go over what they know of Naruto, and it so happens that my guy's team was overhearing this as they happened to just go see what he's doing, and overhear all of Naruto's feats. Ironically, he's just even shocked. He wants to deem Naruto the great Naruto, because it's just how high in esteem that my guy holds Naruto. Even Kakashi, who's my guy, said out loud is his rival. And Neji heard that he beats adult Hyuga for fun, so he's kind of curious now what the great Naruto can do. Now for his team. Well, basically, Naruto is actually pretty adept with hand-to-hand combat. He's not good at it, sure, but he can analyze it pretty well. Because he just does know that technique is his weakness. Like I said before, he's a bit smarter, so he knows what his weakness would be in his preferred fighting style, which would be hand-to-hand combat. So he does tell Hinata where she would lack in technique, which actually allows her to improve over the 2 months. Because, well, when it comes to hunting animals, boom, he appears and takes the animal. Then if they're supposed to, they basically just pull roots out of a field, you have thousands of Naruto clones who can do it effortlessly. So he can kind of just does all the missions himself, but transforms them into his teammates. Like he'll make 3 clones that transform into his teammates, and then the rest of them are just actual Naruto clones that be pulling up roots and everything. Then, carrying groceries, boom, 3 Narutos carry every single grocery. Then 1 Naruto to carry fragile groceries. They barely do missions for more than an hour. This man can run from the hidden sand, run from the hidden leaf to the hidden sand, and run in the span of an hour at the most. It's supposed to take 3 days. So, yeah. Pause real quick. So Naruto can run, in his base form with no effort or anything included. He can run at over hundreds of miles an hour easily. But then with even a smidge of effort, that 100 can jump up to tens of thousands. So he can probably do even shorter than the 1 hour to the hidden sand. But yeah. But Naruto, well, for his team, all they really do is train. So all they have time to do is all they really need to do. Shino just improves some taijutsu with Naruto, as Naruto does point out his weaknesses, as he does with Hinata. Now with Hinata, well, she's able to improve her taijutsu a bit to be somewhere near Neji, not exactly equal, but somewhere near that power, which Neji would be surprised by. He knows that she's on Naruto's team, so he may be the sole cause of this. So yeah. But then we'd have Shino, who basically improves his taijutsu, becoming quickly around high Chunin with this ability. So yeah, Shino's body strengthens itself to the point where he can hold more bugs and actually tone down their violent nature. So he's able to take in the same kind of bug as Torane Aburame, which is somewhat like his older cousin, I think. Let me Google how old Torane is. Yeah, Torane is the older cousin of Shino, but also his adopted brother. Torane is 2 years older than Shino. I'm pretty sure I say that Shino can take in every single bug of the Aburame clan, so boom. So he can take in this bug and even master it with his even more advanced body. And Hinata more or less gains a bit of muscle to the point where Neji does deem her physical strength overwhelming. Same with Hanabi and Hiyashi. In 2 months she grew to be from beginning she was weak. In 2 months she's able to overwhelm Hanabi, and even compared to Neji in some degree. Still, he's simply too fast and has better technique than her. So yeah. But now with this, well, he even ups his team's confidence and even ups Hinata's, well, mental state or self-esteem as well. But then after the land of waves missions, well, they're walking into the office when suddenly Paku and the dog would appear and begin telling Yuzu about the struggle that their team is in. And immediately, as Naruto overheard this, well, he heard that Sasuke and his team were in danger, and just to fuck with Sasuke, make him mad, Naruto immediately said that to told Paku give him the coordinates, and he'll run right there in a split second. Naruto doesn't know who Naruto is. Now immediately Hiruzen will laugh, saying, "Naruto, knowing you want to piss off Sasuke, don't you?" Hiruzen, he's watched Naruto in the academy. He quite literally lives for being just a pain in the ass. Like he knows what he's doing, and he just lives for it. So Hiruzen is writing the dogs. He says, "Yeah, plus I can probably impress a Jonin, so it's worth it." Alright, Hiruzen got Paku saying, "No, really, he can probably spend those 2 hours in a single minute." So this shocks Paku, but if Hiruzen trusts him, he's worthy. Now Paku was able to desummon and appear from Kakashi again, asking for the coordinates. And Kakashi's fighting Zabuza currently. Not fighting Shino, probably just traveling, because I don't think they're at Zabuza just yet. He tells the coordinates, and Paku says that some brat called Naruto's going to be here soon. Paku will desummon again, then appear in front of Naruto. We'll say he's like somebody will do that in some Paku fashion. When he appears back in Leaf around 10 minutes later, well, he tells Hiruzen and Naruto the coordinates, and he tells Shino and Hinata he'll be right back. They nod. Suddenly, Naruto's body begins getting coated in just tons of chakra. For the first time, Naruto actually use a gate, like an ability with the gates. Now, the way he did this, basically, Hinata kept treading on his chakra points, and he kept reopening them in training, sure, but he was able to push his power to learn how to use second gate powers. Like, he'll learn how to use the powers of his gates properly, which is not as big of an increase as it would be for a normal user. Instead, all he does is basically give himself a 1.5 amplifier in power. So, yeah. So for his 1.5 amplifier, did I say amplifier? So for this 1.5 amplifier, Naruto would use his power and immediately just dash off for some coordinates. And as he does this, well, he's able to get, for the trip that took them around 4 hours, gets there in, 5 minutes. When he appears, he beats Paku in there even, and he gets there right as Zabuza throw a blade at them. As Kakashi told everyone to duck, suddenly the blade is kicked into pieces, and the hilt is grabbed and thrown back at the person who threw it. Whereas Zabuza came to dodge the blade, it hits him right in the shoulder. It's a bit of it, like what he's hit him in the shoulder. So it's not even a deep wound, it just stings. Now, you know the feeling like you break like a small plate or something, and like a small bit of glass hits your finger and just stings a bit? It's kind of what it feels like for Zabuza. So Zabuza look at who did this, and sees, a fifth brat. Well, I guess a fourth, because 3 brats would be Team 7, so 4th is Naruto. But yeah, he looked at Naruto as his foot was just out, and steam came off it. Naruto chuckling, saying, "Really? That's all you threw at them?" Kakashi, not Kakashi, but he says, "I guarantee even the team could have broken that blade pretty easily." Kakashi would be thinking, saying, "The fuck you think? I didn't have Chidori ready or anything. I couldn't have done a thing against that." But Naruto just kind of overhyping everyone there, but still. So I was like, kind of got ready for another fight. For a challenging fight, because Naruto seemed impressive. He kicked the blade into pieces coming out of nowhere. Now, Naruto, he heard something. He more began focusing on his hearing and scent more than his sight. Going into these, on the edge of his barrier for his sense and sight, that's not the same, for sense and smell and hearing, he smelled a rather feminine scent that he got from Hinata. Basically the scent of a female that he can get from Kurenai and Hinata. Naruto even points out Haku, in the bushes, saying, "Smells like a female." Immediately Haku took that as like a thing, like, "Oh, you smell horrible." Haku more or less just threw someone at Naruto's neck, hoping that he'd catch him. But Naruto just appeared in front of Haku, grabbing Haku by the face and began squeezing. So Haku's thrown right into a tree, being knocked out. But then Naruto ended up staring down Zabuza, saying, "Naruto, me and you." Kakashi kind of nervous because Zabuza is one of the ninja swordsmen. Can Naruto really beat this? With Naruto and Zabuza being engaged in taijutsu, sure, Zabuza has the advantage in technique currently, but Naruto's technique is growing as well. He's got accustomed to the Aburame special taijutsu and a bit of the Hyuga taijutsu. Eventually, it was his power and striking alone is what that's mainly what he specializes in. He's able to break the bones of Zabuza pretty effortlessly. It's kind of like what's this? I don't know. What's something easy to punch in half? I guess treating Zabuza's bones like breaking boards, like boards that are meant to be punched, like they use in martial arts training. Naruto's treating Zabuza's bones like those with every hit. When he's done, Zabuza's arms and a few ribs have taken quite a beating. But Zabuza eventually falls over, coughing up blood and unconscious. There's 2 months, Naruto boosted his power from being around a high Jonin, maybe Anbu, to being able to hunt down S-rank Shinobi like it's nothing, which does include Zabuza. So yeah. Now Naruto more or less would just, he grabs Zabuza and Haku and brings him back to the Hidden Leaf, but just walks because he feels that they're too weak to be considered threats to him. Which Zabuza wakes up, realizing his like wounds are somewhat treated. Realizes that there's just like cloned holding his body stably. And Haku realized that, well, her face is bandaged up. Yes, I said her. So Haku asked Naruto how bad the damage is, because Haku was able to sell deals just on appearance alone. But Naruto explained, nothing major, broken nose that he fixed. But then with Zabuza questioned his damage, and Naruto would say 2 broken arms and 4 broken ribs. Which, how many ribs are there? Okay, so, I have like an estimate of like, maybe like 15. No, there's 24 ribs, so still kind of weird. But Naruto broke 4 of these, leaving 20 unbroken, but still hurts. Zabuza and Haku are eventually brought to the Hidden Leaf, first put in the Hidden Leaf Hospital, then escorted to the Hidden Leaf Prison. Well, as Naruto had gotten back, but news got out quickly. He dragged 2 S-rank Shinobi through the village like it was nothing. And they were bandaged up. So when word got out, the Naruto hunted down 2 S-rank Shinobi by himself. Well, first off, he's given a bounty alone. He's given himself a bounty as... Does Zabuza have a bounty? Let me see this. So Naruto's given a bingo book bounty of around 10 million yen, so roughly like $8.6 thousand. Just mainly because he's a kid, so they think his power may have been underestimated. That's how he won. So they think just because he caught him off guard, he won. That's really it. But no, in reality, they're fully aware of who he is, or at least for at least Zabuza was, but Haku was barely even aware that Naruto was this strong. All he knew is that Naruto could kick steel into pieces, and Zabuza just knew that Naruto was fast. So, yeah. Zabuza knew that he could kick steel in half, and that he was fast. Haku just knew that he was fast. And thought she smelled bad. But, yeah. But now with this, with Naruto back in the village, King 7 goes about the mission pretty peacefully. They'll learn how to use chakra control. And Naruto and his team actually learn how to use chakra control from Kurenai. She didn't know. Teach them as taijutsu, ninjutsu. Everything about them has been strengthened. We're not immune to genjutsu by now, so yeah. So with chakra control, Naruto basically just overflowed his feet with chakra to the point where he had to learn how to control it properly by infusing a small amount. So even if it didn't matter, he could still use more chakra than needed for certain attacks. Which that did make some sense to him because he could use stronger attacks. That's why he only did it. But now with that, Naruto during his time is able to learn how to water walk and tree walk. But now we go to like the whole Chunin exam thing. Now Konohamaru, well, Naruto and Konohamaru are a bit closer because Konohamaru calling Naruto boss fed his ego. So he taught Konohamaru a bit more. But Moegi and Udon, well, they didn't really like Naruto's ego, but they liked Konohamaru. So it's like, oh well, just call me boss. Like, nah, it kind of pisses us off at how happy that gets you. So Naruto had to learn how to be a less egotistical person from kids who weren't even like 10 yet. So it's kind of funny. I think at this point they may have been exactly 10, but no. But of course, of Naruto takes place like pretty sure a total of 2 years because he was 12 when they graduated, then 16 when he came back to the Hidden Leaf. That would be 4 years. So like whole thing of like 2 years in total. So Konohamaru may have been like maybe 8 years old at this point. So, yeah. But still not 10 yet. And at this point, it does like, he's able to soothe his ego, which, he also kind of liked, but it was still pretty cool how confident he was. He still is that confident, just tones it down a bit when they're not, when he doesn't need to be. For this, Konohamaru, Uramwegi learned a bit of taijutsu from Naruto, just like the academy basics. And this actually does advance them pretty far in their academy days. Even teaches Konohamaru how to use chakra by teaching him how to do chakra and jutsu. Well, then everyone else in the group just learns how to tree walk. That's about it. But still, that puts them leagues ahead of their academy, academy friends. So when Konohamaru actually encounters Kankuro's punched right in the sternum, as hard as Konohamaru can muster. And infusing a bit of chakra just to push him back a bit. Kankuro ends up holding this air tournaments. I kind of forgot in the split second I said that. I'm gonna find it real quick. So I guess like the sternum is more or less like in the center of your chest. Like I guess like the people call it the breastbone. So when I look at where it is, like someone calls it the breastbone. Someone I know calls it that. So yeah. So Konohamaru punch Kankuro there, infusing a bit of chakra into that punch. Kankuro's sliding back a bit, holding his chest, realizing that this brat can use chakra. He's not wearing a Shinobi headband, so he must be some random some random academy student that's really powerful. Now, immediately Kankuro would rush right at Konohamaru. Suddenly, Kankuro's clotheslined by someone. So Kankuro basically done a full flip in the air due to this clothesline. Well, now Tamari and Gara are concerned. He appeared out of nowhere and Kankuro's clotheslined. Kankuro is ground unconscious. Well, Tamari will question where this person came from. As Naruto ends up standing up, saying, "Alright, Konohamaru, was that the one that started it?" Konohamaru would yell, "Yeah, Boss Naruto, he's the one that started it." Udon and Momoegi appear right in front of Gara as they basically found him. They were looking around. They appear in front of Gara saying they'll beat him up too. But immediately they're surrounded in sand, until they both disappear, with Naruto holding them. Now he's holding them very caring, so to say. He stares at Gara, at the killing intent he's giving off. Well, it makes Konohamaru almost piss himself. But Gara would be shocked that this person can admit this much killing intent. And suddenly, Naruto's chakra begins being exuded out of his body, quickly surpassing the One-Tails. We already did, it's just, flex that power even more. Now, such Gara would realize how powerful this person is, and immediately back down. For the first time, Gara really, truly felt inferior. Even Shikaku didn't know that this was the Mantis from Turkey. She thought it was just some random powerful shinobi that just was a genin. Tamari basically told her to pick up Kankuro and fuck off. That's really it. Now with this, Chunin exams happen, and basically just go to like Rock Lee. Now, when Naruto would walk into the academy, when they all walk into like the Chunin exam area, first off, Sasuke had a question to Naruto. Sasuke's like, damn me, no, like, Naruto, how were you able to be an answering shinobi? Naruto didn't really care, as him and Hinata just kept walking, alongside Shino, who's just kind of walking on the ceiling to avoid everyone. Naruto eventually joined him, but still it's pretty hard to, like, evade everyone when he's this powerful, when he has this much chakra exuding from his body. Yeah, sure, he can suppress it, but still overwhelms the One-Tails in power. In power and in chakra levels. But, eventually this leads to more like the, first off, Rock Lee does attack Naruto. Eventually, Shino did ask him to go to get away, so no one paid attention to him, which Naruto did do. But when he hit the ground, Rock Lee was rushing right at Naruto. But Rock Lee realized that his punch didn't connect to anything. But he realized that Naruto was kind of bouncing on his head with one finger. Naruto laughed, saying, "Well, you're fast." Well, to other people, in reality, I saw you moving in slow motion. Now, everyone there didn't see Rock Lee move an inch, and not even Neji, or Hinata. But Naruto, he moved in slow motion. Naruto ended up laughing, hopping off of Rock Lee's head, saying, "Alright then, I'll be going. Shino and Hinata, let's go. 2-7, I guess, come on." They walk, and eventually Rock Lee demands to fight Naruto. Naruto will smile at Rock Lee, saying, "Sure, if you want to die, go ahead. Come at me with all you got. And I'll put you in the hospital just so you can't participate." And immediately Rock Lee begins to tries to take one step. My guy appears from his team saying, "No, he is serious. Do not do this." Neji would say, "So you seriously think he can beat you?" My guy would say, "Neji, you guys have been on C-rank missions. Well, this kid walked through Konoha dragging 2 S-rank shinobi alongside him. It wasn't even his mission. He just bothered in because he was bored. Can you take down 2 S-rank shinobi because you're bored?" And not to chime in saying, "And with no effort." My guy would say, "And that." Neji would say, no. Rock Lee says, "Yes, sir, I can, with your teachings." My guy's like, "Well, sure. But Neji, Tenzin, no. And Rock Lee, you can't show off the power." Rock Lee says, "Sir, he's standing on power. Stating the reputation of the team. I have to do this." But my guy would just say no, and no with the test. So Naruto can't answer a single question still. Actually, probably only one question. Most of the fact that more or less he can blitz around the whole classroom without anyone seeing him. So I get with that ability, he can blitz around the whole classroom with no one seeing him, or he can just be so fast he can knock out all the teachers, which he can do just that. Or for a second, he does do that. Actually, I have an idea for Naruto to cheat. So I'm gonna do this real quick. So Naruto's teammate Shino is probably the second smartest person in all of the Konoha 12. Second smartest, which is including Sasuke, Sakura, and Ino, and Shikamaru. So being second to Shikamaru is still pretty impressive, regardless. So Shino is also known to think 3 steps ahead of opponents. So he can probably just answer the test and get everything done. I'm pretty sure Sakura did try to answer every question, just not 10 because she couldn't do it. So Shino could probably answer 10 because he would use effort. But so Shino, Naruto immediately just dashed to Shino's desk before anyone could even recognize he moved, and they kind of left like a note on the desk saying once Shino has to send out a bug to Naruto, and when he sees the bug, then he'll swap paper with Shino. Shino just has to do his paper. Shino just accepted that. He kind of owes Naruto for help with taijutsu and confidence. So yeah. So Naruto, by the time that Shino finished his test, a bug came out to Naruto, and suddenly Naruto's paper had changed to be Shino's. Shino basically erased Naruto's name, wrote his name. Naruto wrote Shino's name, wrote his name, and now the tests were complete. So yeah. Now the teachers didn't really see Naruto or Shino really. Well, they saw Shino move, but they didn't see Naruto move. So when Naruto handed in his paper, Ibiki tried to just say, "Oh, translation jutsu, clever." No, he just ruin it. Nothing worked. The paper was completely filled out with basically everything correct. There's not question 10. There's really no answer for it. Even using up the paper and analyzing every single bit of it. When suddenly Hyusen bursts out laughing, it compares Shino's paper to Naruto's paper. And Ibiki's like, "Don't tell me he did that." Hyusen chuckles like, "He moved so fast that he handed his paper to his teammate when his teammate finished, and no one noticed it." So Ibiki's just in shock that Naruto had done that. That simple thing. Just swap papers. So now we just move on to just the Force of Death. And then Naruto is kind of just dozing off while Anko's explaining rules. She doesn't notice that Naruto's dozing off, and just throws a kunai at him. The moment the kunai is thrown, before he even gets even a foot away from Anko, Naruto's behind her, covering her eyes, while the kunai is at her throat. Naruto would just be yawning, saying, "Was it you that threw kunai at me?" Immediately, everyone's just in shock that Naruto was able to put in. Kind of I guess, Anko can be considered Anbu, or at least, high Jonin. So for him to put someone in this position really fast, it's quite shocking. Everyone's just kind of mumbling and just wow, that's impressive. But Kabuto's saying it would be the most shocking. He's as expected from someone in the bingo book. Whenever heard that Naruto was a bingo book worthy shinobi, their jaws drop. They're taking this exam with someone this powerful. Now Sasuke had known what this was, and it's just amazed that Naruto's in the beginning book. And then we have Orochimaru's like, oh, well, this may be troublesome. But Naruto, he feels evil intent coming from Orochimaru, and kind of directed towards Team 7. So he'll be keeping a close eye or ear out for Orochimaru. So Naruto does step off to take a piss. The team he counters is just some random fodder team that doesn't even matter. But eventually we kind of go to like the Orochimaru battle for Team 7. Well, Kiba doesn't do shit. He gets his ass clapped pretty easily. Well, Sasuke got pushed to be a lot stronger, so he actually has like a 2-to-1 Sharingan already just through training, but still can't beat Orochimaru. But Naruto's able to hear this, and Shino and Hinata are able to kind of see it using bugs, and well, Shino's able to hear about it from his bugs. Hinata's able to see it, and Naruto is easily able to hear it despite being on the other side of the forest. With this, Naruto asks if they want to go now. They nod. Naruto will grab both of them by the back of their coats and disappear right in front of Orochimaru, kicking him in the face before he even knows what happened. As Orochimaru is kicked in the face, he sends flying back, and he's just shocked at how powerful his kick was. He ends up realizing his face is completely broken. Now he's not even able to speak, and he does most definitely have a concussion. Felt like he got eight of them in one moment. Before Orochimaru can even get his bearings in order, Hinata will be extracting every single one of chakra points at rapid speeds. As he can't even get his bearings back before Shino even begins hitting him in the side. But then, as they all drift away, we have these thousands of Narutos, not all equal power, of course, but still all individually powerful. On average, they're more powerful than the One Tails. So this is just very concerning. So all these, not individually, they're all most definitely more powerful than the One Tails. Probably even going up to be beyond Four Tails. With this, they all be abusing Orochimaru like it's nothing. Orochimaru is basically the living definition of the fight back in the Gamine. Like with Nanami and Yuji versus Mahito, they're abusing him like the fight back nigga. This is basically just Naruto against Orochimaru. That's kind of what he's doing. It is not even a fight; it is abuse. By the time he's done, Orochimaru just left as a pile, not pile, but left as like a folded person of broken bones. Like there's not a single bone in his body that isn't broken. Not a single bone. Now, actually, Team 7 and Team 8 do leave with Sasuke thinking Naruto. No, Naruto just laughing. Thank me by getting stronger. They leave, as Shino would say. Oh, that was pretty easy. Well, we go to Kabuto, who felt the chakra that was Naruto near Orochimaru. You know, he went there, he just saw a folded Orochimaru. He quite literally just folded in half under the power. And Kabuto's team plus Team Dosu just saw how folded Orochimaru was. They cannot help but just feel shocked, and they know it wasn't Team 7 because Kabuto stated it wasn't. This was Team 8. Or Team Naruto, as they call it. Now Dosu actually wanted to go after Naruto, so as Kabuto had left, he goes after Team 7 individually, but decides to go after Team Naruto, hoping that body, the person's body being Naruto, could be better than Sasuke's in power, at least. So they attack, but Shino already felt them coming using bugs, and Hinata already sensed them. So Shino actually said he's going to go on the attack first. They feel like they should step in, then they can step in if they want. With this, Shino being attacking Zaku, specifically Zaku's defeated by Shino's bugs, but then Keen quickly defeated, Shino being basically immune to Genjutsu with how much his bugs help, and him individually being really strong. But then Keen, with her being defeated, is all that's left is Dosu. Zaku's arms are basically blown to pieces, and his chakra is completely gone, which is leaving him dying of chakra exhaustion. Keen got her ass whipped by Shino and Taijutsu. So now let's Dosu can use sound. But Shino saw the holes in the gauntlets and got kind of suspicious because of Zaku's sound techniques. So assuming that the gauntlets can use sound, well, they're already stuffed up. So the moment sound tries to escape from them, no sound escapes. Shino would just grab Dosu by the face, and bugs begin going all over Dosu's body, turning him purple, and he eventually dies. Shino ends up putting his gloves on, saying, never thought I'd actually use those bugs in the battle. Shino kind of has the same attire that he does in Naruto, just where he wears gloves, because the bugs he usually has, well, they alter his skin color around the area mainly, because that's where they all reside. Like, his body is just buff. So his hands are like the only point where bugs can, like, more or less be shown. You know, like Team Naruto is just buff as fuck. Like Naruto's like fucking like Greek statue buff. But yeah. So we just move on to like I don't know. Probably just them taking the score from Team Dosu, then graduating not graduating, but just passing the exam. But now we just move on to well, 3 Shinobi are taken out of this, which does make it so the tournament cannot happen, or not the tournament, the preliminaries can't happen. Because Dosu is dead. King under ass whooped so bad she has a fucking concussion, and then Zaku's dead. So yeah. Pause real quick. So Shino killed 2 Shinobi in the span of around 3 minutes. Then beat one's ass so bad she has a concussion. So yeah. So preliminaries don't happen, and we move on to with the 1 month training. So with the 1 month training, drives back to the Hidden Leaf. After also Team Zabuza would have to leave because Team Dosu's dead. Keen was kind of left on force and ate by animals. So Team Zabuza has to leave after hearing Team Dosu's dead, and plus they have Orochimaru's team who's also dead besides Orochimaru. That leaves 6 Shinobi leaving. So yeah. 5 because Kabuto didn't participate in the preliminary, so 5 Shinobi leave. But yeah. So with this with the 1 month, Naruto would actually still meet Jiraiya the same day, but still, he trained a lot. The training he actually went through was with Might Guy and Rock Lee, because he actually did want to know what power Might Guy is talking about. So Naruto actually will first have to fight against Team Guy. So the Guy actually went in this whole told his team to attack Naruto. First one to attack is Rock Lee. Rock Lee swiftly kicked through the whole force and knocked him unconscious with that one kick. And with Neji, Naruto simply too fast to keep up with via Byakugan. He doesn't know about the Byakugan weakness due to Hinata. So with his sheer speed, just quickly able to punch out impressive blast of air. It's very swift, not a small big one at all. It's very small. But it's fast enough and small enough actually go through the weak point, hit Neji in the back of the head. Full speed actually daze him for a bit. And then when Neji being dazed, he's basically kicked in the face. Not as hard as he can. Not as hard as Naruto can, but still kicked in the face. Pretty hard. This is him being knocked out. Then all that's left is Tenten's no for not having ass, so. A few kills of kunai, and that's about it. But still, he just grabs those and throws them right back at her. So yeah. But now we just move on to that with Naruto punching her probably in the face and just knocking her out. Pause. So yeah, Tenten's defeated, and this leaves Team 7, Team 8, being superior to Neji's team, or Team Guy. I don't know if they even have the team number. But yeah. So when Naruto meets Jiraiya would know who it is just through the sheer power approaching him. And Naruto's only approaching Jiraiya because, first off, Naruto had been getting along with Zabuza and Haku as they were able to more or less prove that they can be allies of the Hidden Leaf. So Naruto and Haku have been getting friendly with each other, and Naruto and Hinata have been getting a little more friendly, with Naruto occasionally kind of poking, just joking around with Hinata kind of being a little flirty, then Naruto being a little touchy. And Naruto more or less would be approaching Jiraiya because Haku and Hinata are both in the women's area, and Jiraiya is peeking in there. When Jiraiya turns around immediately, feeling the killing intent, saying, "Oh, whoa, kid, whoa." So it's kind of shocks, not shocks, but Jiraiya's kind of confused when Naruto's approaching him. But Naruto just proceeds to yell at Jiraiya and lecture him, as the woman on the other side of the wall being cheering Naruto on. So, yeah. And eventually Jiraiya does something to Naruto, so he's like, "Oh, come and get me then." The one Jiraiya disappears. Jiraiya would look ahead of himself, seeing Naruto right there. Naruto basically sent out like hundreds of clones the moment Jiraiya left, and then Naruto ran around the whole village in a split second looking for Jiraiya. He can trace the whole thing of Konoha, no, the whole area of Konoha in a split second if he chooses to. It's pretty easy. He can move beyond light speed like it's nothing. But yeah. So now let's go on to like just the training. So with summoning jutsu, well, Naruto does that in one go. So much chakra was put into this to the point where summoning appeared. And that summoning happened to be Gamabunta. Gamabunta doesn't believe it's Jiraiya this time, he just believes it's Naruto. Because whose chakra would be this powerful? You don't even need to be a sensory ninja to feel this much power. Like you could be some random civilian in Tsunade and feel his power coming from Naruto. It's that impressive. But yeah. But now we just go on to like I guess we can go on to like Naruto. He did something the first day. And they have a whole ass month. So they'd probably work on her Sengon, which Naruto actually did in 1 week. So he has an additional 2, an additional 3 or 4. So there's really no need for Naruto to struggle. Plus, he kind of did this on a time limit, and he actually just has all the time in the world he needs, and plus can just overwhelm anything with chakra. So with this, well, the balloon test is nothing. All he did was like struggle for an hour before just moving chakra around in a messy formation, blowing up the whole balloon. Then the same thing with a rubber ball, and he's able to make Rasengan just out of making it messily and actually perfecting the chakra as he just tries to get a grip on this messy ball of chakra. So he mainly learns how to do a Rasengan via trying to smooth out a Rasengan. So yeah, by the time his Rasengan is finally smoothed out, he's able to do it. This is going to take like a day or two for him to be able to summon it with one hand. Still, he's able to do a Rasengan in a few days. I'd say around like 5 days tops. But then we'd have Naruto, who, well, he would mention to Jiraiya about like the other scroll he had found, because he did tell Jiraiya from the scroll ceiling he did find out about flying Raijin, which he'd never found out how to do because he was busy training his team. So when he brings up the scroll ceiling to bring up flying Raijin to Jiraiya is helping Naruto how to use it. Not that Naruto needs it, but still. Naruto would end up learning how to use the scroll ceiling. Not the scroll ceiling, learn how to use Flying Raijin. Now, by the time you actually learn how to use it properly, he has 1 week left before the Chunin exam starts. And Jiraiya deems Naruto like already too powerful to be a Chunin. He deems Naruto powerful enough to be a Kage. So Naruto more or less would begin working on Taijutsu, while also working on his moves with Haku. Because, well, him and Hinata are on good terms, and now Haku is like only girl left that he actually somewhat likes. So Naruto and Haku kind of be flirting with each other, and Naruto even begins advancing his relationship with Hinata. As well, Hinata, her and Neji never fought. But this will lead to me having to do more fights. But, yeah. Also, you guys know about like Sasuke and Kakashi's training? Well, Kakashi was a little bit stronger in this one, and can use his Sharingan a little bit more with power. And with this more power, he can give some of it to Sakura, so she learned a bit from Kakashi. But, yeah. Pause real quick. So, I guess we go on with the training exams, with Naruto still working on his relationship with Haku and Hinata. The fights in the training exams would more or less go in this order. So the first fight is going to be Shino versus Sasuke. Now this is Shino with more bugs and a lot higher power with Taijutsu and a bit of ninjutsu outside the bugs. But this is Sasuke training with Sakura for a whole month straight, and Kakashi, and he already had a 2-20 Sharingan by the time of the Land of Waves. So this fight will actually still be pretty close because Sasuke cannot touch Shino. Like, he physically cannot touch him without dying. Sasuke was left up to distance jutsu, and Well, all came down to who had more chakra, and then that kind of went up to Sasuke. Well, due to Shino more or less passing out in chakra exhaustion, Sasuke had won. But still, Sasuke felt like that was a loss to him because, well, he simply had more chakra than Shino. That's about it. But Shino also knew that Sasuke felt inferior about that, so he's kind of glad that Sasuke did feel some honor in their battle. Kankuro versus Tenten. Kankuro obliterates pretty easily. People even speculate that Kankuro may be stronger than Temari, which I say no to. But then again, I'm also a Shino fanboy, as Shino had whooped Kankuro. But I'm also more of a Tenten fanboy. So, in case that in case that Kankuro may be stronger than Temari, I may or may not see Kankuro being stronger than her, but also I do see her probably obliterating his puppets and him just submitting through sheer depression that his puppets are destroyed. But yeah, so Sakura versus Ino. Sakura trained with Kakashi and Sasuke. Like, she had a whole month and probably a little bit of over half a month left to train. So if she didn't train with Kakashi at all, I'd be very upset. So you train with Kakashi. Not for the whole month, but for a bit of it. She learned how to control chakra better and actually got pretty damn powerful with physical strength. So yeah. And it's kind of led to her kind of experimenting with enhancing her strength and speed. Sakura versus Ino. The fight starts and Ino tries to do mind transfer jutsu. Sakura literally appears right in front of Ino, upcutting her in the jaw and knocking her out. So yeah, Sakura won that fight. Shikamaru versus Temari. Well, Shikamaru Shikamaru grew up around a stronger friend being Naruto. Naruto's always amped up with emotion and does train constantly. I do think that Naruto, with just through sheer charisma, may have dragged Shikamaru into 1 or 2 training sessions, but still don't think that's enough for him to care about the fight. So I still say he loses due to him getting bored in the fight, thinking of Temari as too easy of a plaything. So yeah, Hinata versus Neji. Now this is like Hinata and Neji, who are actually relative in power, basically equals, no matter what. But there's one thing to take in mind. Well, first off, Lee lost to Naruto too frequently to the point where Lee is even depressed and wants to get stronger as fast as possible. But then you have a Neji who needs to train because Hinata and him are too close in power, and he's upset about that. So this leaves Neji unlocking 1 or 2 gates in power and Rock Lee advancing a bit faster than he should be for his age. So Hinata's actually about to defeat Neji, but then Neji would push open 1 gate and then beat Hinata. So, yeah. She still left him with pretty serious injuries. Now Gara versus Lee. This fight, actually, Gara almost dies, but Gara is able to get a good piercing on Rock Lee's leg using sand, which slows the Rock Lee down significantly, at least to Lee being defeated by Gara, through Gara using a somewhat dirty trick. Then on Kiba versus Choji, I put Choji beating Kiba. Just that's really it. Kiba's fodder. Kiba can be part of the main cast and will still be fodder. That is it. But we're going into like the semifinals because Naruto had no one to fight, and plus everyone knows he's strong as hell. So Gara would be somewhat healed by now due to Shukaku and just healing. So Gara's somewhat at full power. So now with this, Gara would fight Naruto. But Naruto, the moment Gara would try to begin starting the attack, Naruto just appears, flashing all the sand, can't even move, and Gara punched right in the face, being sent flying to the air. But then Naruto would proceed to see Gara just keep using sand, and Naruto does find it hard to evade all the sand, as Rock Lee and him are both pretty fast, and Gara's sand is adapting to the speed. So now Naruto does tell Gara that he'll use a bit of power that may or may not kill Gara, depending on how strong Gara truly got during this 1 month. As Naruto does say, he's able to sense Gara's power, and the force of death, and, if he hit force of death Gara with his attack, that Gara would have been killed, and would have been killed pretty easily. But now Gara's nervous, because he barely trained a bit. So Naruto would end up charging for Rasengan, and now he's nervous. Anyone that knows what a Rasengan is now worried for Gara's well-being after this fight. Naruto would immediately dash right at Gara, being able to slam his Rasengan into the sand, blowing it apart, and hitting Gara right in the stomach with it, knocking Gara out cold. Now this Shukaku would take advantage of this, but immediately Naruto would power up to his Zero Tails form, and now the hands are then put on Shukaku the moment he begins trying to attack. Hands are given disrespectfully and without remorse. So Shukaku is manhandled by a 12-year-old. That's about it. By the time Naruto was done, he had punched Gara in the face once or twice and woke him up. The first punch woke him up, then just Gara passed out again, then the second punch woke him up for good. So yeah, the hands were given to Shukaku with utmost with utmost power being exerted from Naruto's body. But then in the stands, we would see a very much weakened Neji taking down Chunin and Genin from the hidden sand and sound, which doesn't actually impress Naruto, and Hinata is doing the exact same thing as Neji. And they've actually been working in perfect synchronization. No matter how much the two hate to say it or think it, they're a perfect duo. Now, immediately Zabuza and Haku been joining in because Zabuza got back from a mission because he became a shinobi. He has nothing else to do in life. So Zabuza being helping out, same with Haku, and Haku being helping out Hinata. But Naruto just proceeds to watch Fusion battle with Orochimaru. But now immediately he sees coffins rising, and first two Hokage step out. Naruto would immediately be empowering up to his Two Tails cloak, just to ensure he breaks the barrier. Everyone feels his power rising and rising and rising, when suddenly the barrier is shattered, and Orochimaru is punched halfway across Konoha. But Naruto reaches the ground, his body is not okay. It's not funny. He skipped on buildings, on the concrete, on the ground in general. Yeah, but it still leaves Hashirama and Tobirama. Hashirama just experienced the power that Naruto basically punched down a whole barrier and someone got sent flying by it. Hashirama actually insists that he fight Naruto. And Tobirama does feel the chakra that Naruto's exuding and does say, Hashirama, be careful with his chakras more than you. Now Hashirama asks what clan Naruto belongs to, and he says the Uzumakis. And plus he's on 9 Tails from Cherokee, which does shock Hashirama that he's this young, in order to be able to control that much power. And now Hashirama and Naruto begin fighting, and Naruto speeds the wood release like it's nothing. Usually he does get the hands to Hashirama not being able to keep up with it, until eventually he defeats him. Or is able to punch the kunai in his head to pieces, and then he's not able to move anymore. Eventually, Hyushin's able to somewhat push back Tobirama, but then Naruto goes behind him, taking kunai out of his head, and then breaking it. So, yeah. Sound 4, grab Orochimaru, Kabuto then retreats with them, and, yeah. You guys may have noticed. First, Orochimaru experienced the fight back Ninja beam, and now he's experienced the how could his hands do this? Because Naruto folded him twice. He could have done it in one blow each time, only this time he did it in one blow because he was pissed off at Orochimaru trying to attack the Hokage. But yeah, Naruto was the living definition of how could his hands do this? Like, it was not even good. It was assault. It was battery. It was manslaughter. Whatever you want to say. It was abuse. It was just hands given. But yeah, so with this, Orochimaru was defeated in one blow by Naruto, who was 12 years old still. And, yeah. First off, he defeated the One Tails, not, the Legend Cherokee and the Tailed Beast in general. He defeated Gara in one attack. And then he could have defeated Shukaku in one attack as well. He can make a Rasengan the size of Konoha Gakure. But more or less he wanted to have fun, so he just gave the hands to Shukaku because he was bored. Oh yeah, the stronger Might Guy Kakashi obliterating Shinobi left and right. And Kakashi actually was able to upgrade to the 3rd gate. So, yeah. Even Sakura's taking part by just breaking the bodies of these random Genin that she encounters that are part of the sound in sand. Now Shino, despite being somewhat injured, Kankuro and Tamario try to get Gara, and he gives him the hands with the utmost disrespect. Kankuro tries to use puppets, the puppets just immediately get overwhelmed with bugs, and Kankuro's poisoned but not killed. Shino takes the bugs off of Kankuro before he dies. Then with Tamari, just the sheer Taijutsu and speed of Shino is able to overwhelm her until she's just given the hands and knocked out. But then Hinata, she defeated a few Genin and Chunin herself, with half her body being able to work. Eventually, Konoha Crush ends with utter annihilation, and Orochimaru can't help but think he was folded by a 12-year-old twice in the span of a month. So yeah. So now with this, we kind of just have to move on from Orochimaru being folded and Shino folding to Chunin the level Shinobi with around half his power only half his power being able to be used. Probably even less because he fought Sasuke to the point where he was almost dying of chakra exhaustion and still beat Kankuro and Tamari. But yeah. I don't know. You have to pause one more time. Yes, the next arc would be probably like the Tsunade retrieval arc. But Houston didn't die, more or less. He's pretty full of life. I'm really shocked that he's watched a 12-year-old fold a 50-year-old man in one blow. So, well, first folded a tailed beast. First folded a perfect in Cherokee in one attack. Then folded a tailed beast in less than 100 moves. And then fold a giant barrier that's around A rank. And then fold a wanted shinobi that's the Sanin. So, Houston is just some pure bafflement that Naruto... Like, if Naruto was smart, he'd give Naruto the title of Hokage right now, because these were Kage-level feats that a 12-year-old just accomplished. It's only if Naruto was intelligent. And Houston does, like, he acknowledges to Naruto, he acknowledges to Kurenai, like, he announces Naruto as a hero to Konoha. He's like, the hero of this village is Naruto Uzumaki. He defeated the One-Tails, first defeated in Cherokee, defeated the One-Tails itself, and saved me from the first two Hokage. So, I could make him Hokage right now, but he needs a bit more intelligence. He called Naruto a hero, but also a fucking idiot in front of the whole village. So yeah, so she prompts Houston to hire a tutor for Naruto, because he needs this boy to become Hokage ASAP, because that power cannot be wasted as a random shinobi in the world. Which does actually result in Houston making Naruto a Jonin. No, Naruto has to find Tsunade because they need Hokage, because Hiruzen does realize he's getting old. So they try to find Tsunade. We can just go over to, like, first off, Kisame and Itachi fighting Might Guy, and the rest of whoever came in to fight. This results in a stronger Kurenai, actually. Itachi does admit, well, if he was, like, if he was the Itachi that was, well, younger, like, a little bit of a younger, healthier Itachi, like, Anbu Captain, like, as soon as he became an Anbu Captain, Itachi may have actually been like in that Genjutsu for a long ass time. So it's still pretty impressive. And Kurenai actually proves to be pretty overwhelming in terms of taijutsu due to her having to speed up because of Naruto. So yeah. So then we'd have Asuma, who actually probably the weakest the weakest Jonin sensei currently, even compared to Kurenai. Her Genjutsu and taijutsu strengthened so much. Like, it is crazy. And then we would have Kakashi, who's a bit stronger, and he's actually on the verge of awakening his Mangekyo properly, and can use 3 gates, and actually gives him and Might Guy teamed up body Kisame like it's nothing. And then we have Kakashi, who would use the spare power he has left for the 3rd gate to fight Itachi. Itachi isn't able to genjutsu Kakashi at all because he got punched in the face and then in the chest. So Itachi and Kisame have to retreat so they don't die. Well, Itachi has to retreat while grabbing Kisame's body. Only way he retreats is because he landed a successful Amaterasu. Not only successful, but a diversive Amaterasu that scared them all, so they ran away. So Naruto will not have to fight Itachi and Kisame because, well, first off, Kisame's unconscious with a few broken bones, same with Itachi. He's unconscious, but Itachi's not unconscious, but he still has a few broken bones. They report back to Pain, and Pain happened to be nearby, so he gives them the King of Hell. And he needed to give them the King of Hell because Itachi's one of his strongest shinobi. He will not let Itachi die before they even get half the tailed beast they need. So Pain went to Itachi and gave him the King of Hell. And, well, unintentionally made Itachi healthy. So yeah. But still, too much time has passed, and they miss Naruto barely. Sasuke had heard about Kakashi fighting Itachi, and how Itachi had to retreat because of Kakashi and Might Guy being so strong as a duo. So Sasuke now has to understand how strong Itachi is, because he thinks Kakashi like a whole different league than Sasuke could ever be. That's what Sasuke thinks of as Kakashi. But now Naruto and Jiraiya fight Tsunade. Orochimaru doesn't approach her because, well, the man's folded. Like, he is folded in half again, and needs to sort out his body. And he's find some way so he doesn't get folded in half again, literally and metaphorically. But Tsunade basically heard that Naruto was not the hero of the village, and that he's still 12, but also made a Jonin. Now, Naruto doesn't pay any mind to Tsunade, just tries to talk in the Hokage position, because she does question why, like, most kids want to be Hokage. But the words that come out of Naruto's mouth makes Jiraiya laugh, and piss off Tsunade and Shizune. Words were, I don't care what some dumb old hag says, she's just too scared to be up in higher power because she's just so broke and has a reputation for being a loser, then she'd just say that and not call Hokage a fool. So they immediately asked Naruto if he'd like to take it outside, and he said, sure, why not? He doesn't care about hitting a woman at all. So they head outside, and Tsunade would immediately rush at Naruto the moment he says start. But then when she takes even one step, she is body. Like, she just has her face slammed in the pavement by Naruto's fist. And she cannot help but watch as Tsunade is just unconscious on the ground. When Tsunade she wakes up on the back of Naruto as he's carrying her into the gates of Konoha. She asks her how long she was out, and he says, a few days. So he's like, so this brat hit me in the face once, and I'm out for a few days. Right? Says, oh, he wasn't using any effort at all. That is just how strong he is regularly. And he beat me a few times, actually. I've been tried using a different version of Sharingan. He punched through those like they were nothing. Naruto laughs, saying, no, for your Sharingans I did use a bit of effort. But not much. Gara would say, still not helping the case, Naruto. But still, Tsunade's around the village, and he's trying to help, but sees Tsunade with a swollen cheek, and Naruto just sighing. And you're like, can I just go home now? But, yeah. And he doesn't help but laugh at Tsunade, saying, so, this brat beat 2 Sannin now. Well, not 2, 3 Sannin now. Tsunade heard 3, she questioned about like, the 3rd Sannin, and he just brings up why Naruto's currently a hero of the Hidden Leaf. First, he folded Orochimaru twice, apparently. Both in very few moves. Well, no, it was one attack. Well, the first time he did it was just one attack that happened to summon thousands of Narutos. Then those thousands of Narutos proceeded to use folding moves that could fold them in one blow, but there's thousands of them doing it, so he got folded 1,000 times over. And the first time Naruto delivered one folding attack that's worth 10,000 attacks. So yeah, so I just couldn't help but hear how strong Naruto truly was. First, he bodied a perfect Jinchuriki, then the tailed beast itself, and punched through an aerial barrier. That same amount of power was able to finish off Orochimaru, and he was able to defeat the first 2 Hokage. So she doesn't want to know how powerful Naruto is at full power, because she'd be shitting bricks. But honestly, Naruto at full power, even 8 Gates my guy currently may lose. War Arc, 8 Gates my guy may lose. Like, this, a full power Naruto's not really something anyone should see in this world right now. But yeah. So now, Sasuke was still actually relieved to the Hidden Leaf, not Hidden Leaf, the Hidden Sound. But now it's up to Naruto and Shino to assemble the team. Well, Shino had been given a proposition by Tsunade when she actually was able to be told about everything. The Yamanakas happened to be watching, and they're able to basically review Tsunade with the whole thing of the Chunin exams. So she basically deemed Shino as probably one of the best strategists in all of Konoha, but Naruto was the higher ranking one. So he's captain, Shino's the vice captain. All Naruto has to do is basically just do formations, and Shino has to come up with a strategy for that formation. And Naruto is battle smart, like I said before. Intellectually, he's a fucking idiot, but still, he's battle smart enough to improve a Hyuga's fighting style in just 2 months to compare to almost a Jonin, or low Jonin. So he's battle smart enough to know where a team should go. So Naruto, generally in front, then Shino would be in the middle, as he's the one that can more or less shoot bugs out from every direction. Plus, well, if they're in attack, Shino can just jump right out from the middle and just begin fighting. Well, there's really going to be no need to fight. He can body every single opponent they come across in one punch if he chooses to. Only difference is that every single opponent they fight will have at least 20 shinobi with them. Does that sound 4? Plus Maru. So it's sound 5. 5. There's around 100 shinobi coming in total. 105 shinobi coming in total. Actually, wait, let me make sure I get this right. So Jirobo, Sakon, and Ukon, Kidomaru, and Takuya, whatever her name is. That's 4 of them, but each have around 20 shinobi, so 20, 40, 60, 80. Link me Maru, so around 100 shinobi in total. So now we basically have this, where we just go on to the team. So Kiba is actually swapped out for someone else, because Kiba is busy training. The person swapped out for is going to be Sakura. Sakura is decently powerful in this one, because first off, she's trained with Well, first off, Tsunade got reviewed of the Chunin exams via memory of a Yamanaka, and saw Sakura improving her strength and speed using chakra control that's so precise that it was incredible. So Sakura already began training with Tsunade and can actually use pretty powerful abilities. So she's currently, even if it hasn't been that long, around like early Shippuden Sakura, like the one that we see fighting Kakashi in the first like few episodes. Around that at full power. At full power being pushed to her limit. But yeah. So we move on to just the retrieval mission. So Kiba's kind of, the reason I'm swapping out Kiba's because he's busy training. He got mopped by some fat kid that likes chips a lot, so he's kind of depressed. But yeah. Now with this, Jirobo, well, he still fights Choji, due to Choji being a slight bit stronger. Well, Choji actually only needs to start using he only needs to use like, I'm sure there's like 4 of the balls, so he needs to use 3 to beat Jirobo. So Choji's not on the brink of death, but he's still pretty tired. But then, those guys won with a dome. Naruto quite literally just used one kick and blew the whole thing up, and then they just left, leaving Choji there, and Choji wanted to fight. But then, Sakura and Ukon, what's left up to Sakura? And they are bodied in one punch. So I'm telling you right now, this one punch, like they all watched it. Like Sakura dashed right at him before they can even comprehend what happened, and they're punched right in the chest, being sent flying. Oh, there's 2 of them now? Same one punch. Like, Sakura is the Saitama currently. They just watch Sakura Saitama everyone. So, yeah. But now we just move on to, like, I guess, Kidomaru, who fights Neji. Now, Neji has the gates. So, Kidomaru, going that he's been, like, trying to take advantage of the weak point in the Byakugan, good old 2 gates abuses Kidomaru like there's no tomorrow. Sure, Neji's like one or 2 kunai sticking out of his body, but that's about it. Neji's not pulling the brink of death, he's quite literally just tired. Same with Choji, he is just tired. Sakura pulled a Saitama, so she's fine. So now we just move on to Tayuya, that was her name. So Tayuya would have to fight, well, there's Naruto, Shino, Shikamaru. Then there was a Choji and Neji. So, yeah. Well, there's also Naruto. So there's around 6 people in front of her. And, not 6, there's 4 people in front of her because 2 of them are down. But still, these guys are all individually more powerful than the guys that left. They're all stronger than the people that left. Well, maybe not Sakura, but that's about it. Like Neji and Choji can give a run for their money if they use all their abilities, but yeah. So we kind of move on to more or less Tayuya fighting Shikamaru. But as Shikamaru would say he wants to fight, Shino steps up saying he's immune to Genjutsu and he can tell that she's a Genjutsu type, so it'll be more his thing. But Tayuya, when she hears that he's immune to Genjutsu, immediately begins shooting bricks because, well, he seems to be one of the ones in command, and he's wearing a Chunin vest, while the other one next to him is wearing a Jonin vest. And you can tell he's powerful because she doesn't even need a sense chakra to feel that he has more chakra than all of them combined and using full power. And she's talking about the sound 4 at full power curse mark. Not the Genin. So yeah. So she's about Shino, even going up to curse mark 2, and Shino's still treating her like a toy. Very swiftly slap a punch away from curse mark 2 to Tayuya, then just grab her face, cover it in bugs, and kill her with that. So yeah, he kills Tayuya in like 5 minutes. And goes back to them to see Naruto fighting Kimimaro. So Naruto and Kimimaro are fighting until he just gets bored, saying, "Hey Sakura, you want to one punch him again? Not one punch him again, but you don't one punch this guy." Says sure, his speed would be a problem. Immediately Shikamaru just paralyzes him with a shadow. Then Sakura jumped right at him. Right, Kimimaro punching him in the chest full force, breaking all the bones he had used to block, and sends him flying through the air. He's not dead quite yet, but suddenly a gigantic sphere of beetles would surround him as Kimimaro basically hits the ground as a corpse. All those bugs quickly being draining most of his chakra, which kind of advances his illness, as in that split second, his illness basically reached its peak and killed him. So yeah, Shino kind of just advanced the illness of Kimimaro and killed him. But now Naruto is bringing their bodies back to Konoha. He's going to fight Sasuke, because he needs to pound some sense into this hopeless idiot. So now he would head up all the way to the. This one 100 to the Shinobi, by the way. They more or less are handled by the prospective person. Like Neji used like 2 gates, and he proceeded to mop through everyone there. Still, like you think 2 gates Neji cannot handle hundreds of Genin, maybe a few Chunin. Same with Choji. He's using like three chakra pills to handle these people. So yeah, I guess we can call it like green pill Choji. Can handle hundreds of shinobi just through damage of the nearby vicinity. But then we'd move on to like what was it? We move on to fucking I don't know. I'm trying to think of it. It's tip of my tongue. Fucking Sakura versus Hundreds of Shinobi. Those Hundreds of Shinobi were handled by the ones that were just standing by, because her team was watching. As her was watching her, she just obliterates these quote unquote 2 brothers. But then we move on to Naruto versus Shino. Probably just Shino versus Toyuya. They all moved on, and Shino just used hundreds of bugs to kill everyone there. So Shino just killed a few. He's killed a few people without remorse and easily. But yeah. So with this, we'd have to see like just Naruto versus Sasuke now. But when Naruto arrives, he actually sees a few, not just regular hundreds. He sees a few. Well, Edo Tensei, a few regular living shinobi. There's already 100 living shinobi, then 100 Edo Tensei, and there's an Orochimaru and a Kabuto that are ready to fight. And an angry Jugo who sensed a dead Kimimaro. Or Karin there as well, who sensed a dead Kimimaro and told Jugo. So Naruto would just stare down these hopeless people, saying, he'll make this fast. He was down and lands, looking at these hundreds of people. And Kakashi basically felt the power there, but he forgot to think that Naruto was there. But when Kakashi arrived, seeing Naruto warming up, well, he immediately turned around saying, alright, so I just said, turn around saying, alright, have fun, Naruto. Naruto said that he'll return a few corpses to the hidden leaf so they can analyze them. Oh, my bad. I just trying to make sure I didn't have any like calls or anything. Or texts, not calls. What Naruto did, more or less, just to wipe out all the shinobi, he just used KCM 0 and pushed up to at least 2 gates in power without realizing he had used the gates properly. Like, he can summon the power of them, sure, but he cannot summon the multiplier of them. That's already active. But when you use the multiplier that he can, normally use, then that was something completely different. So, yeah. So Naruto just kind of is built different and obliterates everyone there. By the time it clears through everyone, Sasuke was just in amazement that he did this in the seconds. Probably at the most it was seconds. Like in the blink of an eye, he can probably wipe out half the shinobi there. But Jugo then attacked Naruto, as Naruto quietly punches Jugo all the way through the Valley of the End, like to the point where he's out of sight. Then Karin just stares down this beast, who's quote unquote an Uzumaki. And she can't even sense his chakra. There's barely any of it to sense. Like, it's just so vast she can't find it. Like, Karin, a very simple just head tap using a bit of genjutsu they learned from Kurenai, takes her out. With Sasuke and Orochimaru and Kabuto, well, Yasuo fights a full force Orochimaru who's ready for Naruto. And at no point has he been ready for Naruto. So we have a ready Kabuto, a ready Orochimaru, and a ready Sasuke. Those will not help this second gate using Naruto with a zero-tailed power. He obliterates Sasuke in one punch. Like, do you remember what Luffy did to Bellamy? Naruto does that to Sasuke. And then with Kabuto tries to go near Naruto, and Naruto gives him the Goku treatment, so just shoves the hole right through him. And then with Orochimaru, all he really does is just give a simple Rasengan to his face and blow him apart. So yeah. Now this eventually Hiruzen and Tsunade and Jiraiya arrived because they had Kakashi's reported that he's fighting Orochimaru again, but he's ready for a fight. By the time that they all arrive, they just see corpses everywhere. They see Edo Tenseis being fearful of Naruto. They're hesitant to even go near this battlefield. So yeah. So I don't really know what else would happen besides Hiruzen and Jiraiya and Tsunade just being baffled at this power. Well, Tsunade set out with a few dozen medical shinobi behind her that began healing. So yeah. But still, this many people that the Naruto had wiped out at barely even half, not even at half power is just baffling. So yeah. Pause real quick. So yeah. Naruto basically just picks up Sasuke's body and walks away as Sasuke's got one shot. But one thing that catches Jiraiya and Tsunade's interest, Sasuke is in a full transformed curse mark, and Naruto still isn't even somewhat dirty. Now Jiraiya will question what Naruto did, and Naruto just explains he ran through them all. Just quite literally just ran. Nothing more than a bit of running. With this, Jiraiya is just watching as Naruto returns Sasuke to the Hidden Leaf, and Zabuza coincidentally got a job as a prison warden in the Hidden Leaf prison. Occasionally he'll go on be your airing missions for the Hidden Leaf, and that's it. Naruto just returns home, and due to Kaku and Hinata being very good friends and being very close, none of them have a problem with sharing a certain blonde-haired boy with the 8 gates. So yeah. Naruto more or less would just proceed to move on and go up to we have to go through a 2-year time skip. Naruto had mastered Rasengan in the first 2 months of it, due to him being able to exhaust so much chakra and just experiment so fast. But then we'd be able to go on to more how do I say this? We'd be able to move on to I guess just Naruto probably in the middle of learning Sage Mode. And just as toads there are amazed at how much chakra Naruto has. The elder toad even compares Naruto to Hagoromo. Just a more egotistical and playboy one. By the time Naruto actually does return to the village from, Mount Myoboku, he's already mastered Sage, and Jiraiya had mastered it as well beside Naruto. Naruto began actually learning how to output the abilities of the gates. That's what I'm trying to say the whole time. He's beginning to be able to use the abilities of the gates. He refused to use the ability of the third gates. Well, instead of his muscles being torn apart, more or less his muscles expand a bit, and he's able to, skin does turn red, but yeah. But then by the time he disables it, then his muscles, they kind of explode temporarily, leaving very low muscle left, but then regeneration immediately kicks in, so it doesn't look like anything ever happened to his body. Only ability that would happen because the 8 gates, the 8th gate, is more or less the fact that his body begins overheating and he just isn't able to move at all. He has the bounce man effect. He's not able to move at all. So yeah, the first arc of Shippuden now would be Kazekage retrieval. And honestly, it's not gonna be fun for anyone. At all. Pause. Well, Gara was driven by Naruto, and Chikaku was put in a very big state of being scared as fuck. So, Gara had a lot more energy to sleep and train. So, with Deidara actually got a pretty serious injury from Gara by having a few of it. Well, first having his arm destroyed by Gara, and then having a few scratches that are pretty deep. So they more or less have to wait for Deidara to heal before they can even initiate unsealing Shukaku. Gara more or less is just under extreme pressure. Like if he even moves an inch, he'll be blown apart. So Gara is more or less held captive. So yeah, wait, pause. So yeah, so Gara is more or less held captive with explosions, threatening to blow his body apart. But Naruto more or less would just dash on, and he heads to Hidden Sand in around 1 minute. All he needs to do is summon some ability of the second gate and just appear there. So yeah, as he appears there, well, they give him a rundown and just begins tracking the sand via some information he got. As he tracks it, he's able to find the area where they're holding Gara. As he arrives, he'd see Might Guy, Neji, and Rock Lee arrive, plus 10-10. No, when I got there, they just say that they were in the area, and they were in the area, and Neji sent Naruto. So yeah. So now we can just move on to just then taking off the seals. But due to Rock Lee, Neji, 10-10, and Might Guy being individually more powerful, well, Might Guy, the moment his clone, it seems to be even off guard for a second, just uses the gates in the first split second, then obliterates his clone. Same with Rock Lee, and Neji, in the midst of a Trick M64 Palm Showdown, moves up to second gate, killing his clone by basically tearing its arms off and killing it with its own arms. And 10-10 is just saved by our team as they just try on the clone and kill it. So yeah. So when they find Gara, or when Naruto does, the seal are taken off, he just blows apart the whole area by just forcing Chopper upon it. But, Chopper's forced upon it, and now Naruto just destroys the whole boulder. Now has to face Sasori and, Deidara. But Chiyo, by the way, did come along with Naruto. It's the fact that she wants to face Sasori. So she faces Sasori single-handedly, while Naruto just obliterates Deidara at the moment he makes a move. Deidara's like, oh, I'll kill him. And Naruto appears in front of him with his fist right through Deidara's heart. Which just confuses the hell out of Sasori and Chiyo, because they didn't even see him blink or even move an inch. But yeah, they'll just go with him and he's dead. So yeah. But now with this, we kind of go on to more or less just them bringing back Gara, because Chiyo does fight Sasori. The time Naruto does think oh yeah, this may be getting a little out of hand. Then he just quietly just obliterates every single bit of the puppets with just one go. So it was pretty easy. So yeah. But now we have to move on to one more time, sorry. So Naruto more or less would just bring Gara back to the Hidden Sand unharmed, besides a few scratches from Deidara. And Sasori is killed by Chiyo, but she does get information, and that information is transported all the way to Naruto. And Naruto brings the information back to the Hidden Leaf. But Naruto does actually, Rock Lee wants to race Naruto to the Hidden Sand, to the Hidden Leaf. And Naruto wins by days. So, yeah. By the time Rock Lee is back to Hidden Leaf, Naruto is quickly just in his house, doing unholy things to Haku and Hinata at the same time. So, yeah. But we end this part here with the unholy things being done. If you guys enjoy, like and subscribe, comment for the rest of this part, or for the rest of this movie. Goodbye.